You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. This is Chris Spangle, host of Liberty Explained and We Are Libertarians. And when you first become a libertarian, it's really confusing. There's all these new ideas that you've never heard presented by all these people that you don't know, and it can be so hard to grasp all that quickly. But we've got you covered. Go to libertyexplained.com. We're going to break down issues. You can search the tags and find out something quickly, watch a video, or listen to a podcast from some of the top experts in libertarianism. And we also have video playlists that we've collected and a list of the top podcasts. And we even have a podcast ourselves with Julia Geyer, Levy Rainey, and myself, where we answer your questions about libertarianism. So go check it out right now, libertyexplained.com.
Do you need an escape from the average, predictable, stressful environment you can't pull your head out of? Subscribe to On the Run with Remzo W. Martinez. From discovering how to take bold steps to become freer sooner than later, to obscure and wild topics sure to expand your view of the world, twice a week you'll go on an audio adventure where you'll think hard and laugh harder. Listen to On the Run with Remzo W. Martinez, part of the We Are Libertarians Network.
You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 186 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell. Today I'm joined by producer Zach Burcham, and co-host Dakota Davis has joined us again today.
Today's episode features, another co-host, Kade Koger.
Oh, he's not a guest?
No.
Oh, hell.
And the three of us are going to be talking about all kinds of different things. There's a wide range of topics. We're going to be talking about the Big Ten tournament in sports ball. COVID numbers.
It's not a tournament. It's
on
just
the
a game.
rise. And then also open door violations here in Henry County and some investigation and complaints that have been going on with that.
That is not a... We got constructive feedback from the Jacobs family. Darren's daughter doesn't think anybody laughs at my jokes, but I'm going to make one anyway. That's an open door violation. It's not for not closing the bathroom door when you're in there. It's a public problem.
No one dare laugh at that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Nobody dare.
Gotcha.
Somebody just ran off the road laughing at it.
I'm still
Big
laughing.
doubt.
I'm still
Big
laughing
doubt
at
on that.
sports ball,
He makes that joke every time.
Yeah.
It's sad and just
like a basketball ring.
yeah. Down there in Knightstown, the old basketball ring. We just did a Patreon. That was cool. We got some gifts. They're on the table here.
Yep,
Do you want to know who they came from? Check out the Patreon.
that's right.
Do you want a story as to why Kade's got shiny skin on one side? Patreon. Do you want to know why somebody needs a new truck? Patreon.
You want to know why I had a boating accident? Patreon.
You want to know why Chris Guffey isn't here? Because he's a loser. That's why.
Because he's always
No extra charge for that knowledge.
got the same problem. Oh, is Guffey watching from home? Have we checked? Have we checked the chat to see if he's in?
He has not been talking.
Either way, I have two things to say to Chris Guffey tonight. First of all, thank you for submitting your payment for the cutting board that I'm making you. And also, thank you for your service, Chris.
Mike Broyles is already in the chat wanting to know what bet I was trying to place. I finally got it made. I passed the location to check on the fourth attempt here. I got Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp to score the first touchdown of tonight's Thursday night football game. $10 will pay out $55. Big money coming our way. Make that bet on your phones, everybody. If you live in Indiana or Tennessee or any
Put that
three other
55
states,
back into the show.
we reinvest the profits.
Yeah, into the show.
They cover the losses from earlier in the week.
And since Jeremiah's not going to be picking up and throwing any money this way, we have to rely on the people at patreon.com/Boss Hog of Liberty. That's where you can go to support the show on a monthly level. We have different tiers. You all get access to the Facebook group, and that is where we do an extra live stream before the show every week. You also get access to show notes. We just sent out a bunch of cool stickers and postcards. with the logo and some pictures of our favorite episodes to all of our Patreon members that provide their address. And that was just a little special thank you gift to those guys because we support them and everything, or we thank them for everything that they do. And if you donate at $50 or more a month, then you get a shout out at the front of each and every episode. Those folks are Chris Lamb, Christy Avery, Jonathan Phillips, and Mr. Anthony Meyer. And real quick, we're going to talk about Anthony Meyer. He's a trucker. He
keeps us fed.
He runs those convoys going down the line, drives an 18-wheeler, and he's the guy that he keeps the all of your everything that you need, all of your necessities. He's the guy that's going to take those to distribution centers. He's going to take the things that you order online. Those are going to get sent to warehouses through guys like Anthony Meyer. He also has a GoFundMe set up because he's wanting to take his trucking independent. He wants to be a free-spirited man.
He wants to pick his own routes and work for himself.
That's right. And we have producer Zach over there. If you can go and post a link to Anthony Meyer's GoFundMe page. I don't even think that Zach is listening to me.
I am listening to you. I'm actually pulling it up.
He's going full Guppy over there, and he's playing. He's playing Brick Breaker.
He didn't even look up at me. He's just staring down at his phone.
He's trying to put Guffey out of a job.
Yeah. So
that's not hard.
So producer Zach, if you could find that GoFundMe link and you post it in our comments section on the live stream, that would be greatly appreciated. I know that Anthony Meyer would appreciate it. I donated to his GoFundMe. I know Craig DaCosta, another Patreon member, donated to the GoFundMe. He's just trying to raise a few $1,000s to get this thing going off the ground. So.
I also jumped in on that tonight.
Did you?
I did. I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in for 25. 25.
I mean,
if I had won some more bets, I could have helped out more, but it's just not. It didn't work.
Not to say that I'm a better person than you, but
you're twice as good as I am, according to that.
Did you find it, Zach? It's on my Facebook page.
It's in there.
Okay.
I was actually looking. I had the BHOL thing ready, and I'm like, oh, now I have to go through this and figuring out.
Got to redo.
Yeah,
got to redo. All right, you got some swag to sell, don't you, Dakota?
That's right.
And then we can move on to the notes. Which, by the way, I did post the notes in the Facebook group about 30 seconds ago. tchip.com/BHOL1234 or BHOL mug. That is where you can go to get all of your Boss Hog of Liberty merchandise. 1, 2, and 3 are all different T-shirts. You can get those in regular T-shirts, premium T-shirts, long sleeve tees, sweatshirts, whatever your heart desires. They are made of ultra premium material, and I also hear that they are infused with hemp and aloe vera. But that don't take my word for it. You hear that?
Go buy them and find out for yourself. And we also had the Protect Yourself line, and that is our masks. So you can go and get a Boss Hog Liberty mask.
I thought we were selling AKs.
Yeah.
We lost all those.
Yeah.
Biden was elected. We now have a line of guns, everybody.
Yeah. And they're all branded with our logo.
Super hard to come by right now.
Yeah. They also have a Surefire light on them, and whenever you press the light, it's our logo that shines out.
We have a family Christmas right now that everybody's trying to Facebook group. You drop in your links to your Amazon wish list, essentially, or the kinds of things you want, and everybody's trying to get my brother to say what he wants, and he just keeps saying he wears a size 9mm. So I don't know. I don't know what he's going to get.
Good luck right now. Either that, or he's trying to make everyone go broke.
He's going to get 12 rounds.
Oh, I was just getting ready to I made a Surefire comment, and I think one thing that if you're not a gun person and you don't know the advancements in light technology that has been made the past few years, I can't remember the model number, but on the rifle that I lost in Westwood, I had a Surefire light attached to it, and whenever I show it to people who don't know, just shine it outside, they're just absolutely blown away.
Yeah,
by just the beam.
Yeah.
Like the beam is as far as a bullet's going to go.
You can throw a light all the way out to Cade's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we occasionally send.
We can
signals
signal to each other. You want to go boating in the morning?
You're going to cause each other to go blind because you just keep hitting each other with lasers for 1,000 yards.
I didn't even know how light it was going to be until I got it.
So you shine it right at Audrey.
No, I took it outside. So we were having a fire. This was a couple years ago at my house. And I was like, oh, I got this new flashlight. I'm going to take it outside. It's a clear night. And I should just shined it and it was like illuminating my entire backyard.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yep.
My whole knowledge of flashlights up until that point.
If that was a couple years ago, it's probably outdated now. Honestly,
I'm sure.
Now it's ridiculous.
See,
now
I carried the Streamlight Micro.
Yeah.
And
this
thing is extremely bright.
Is that from solar power or wind power? How do those batteries get their electricity?
There's a little USB charger right there.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't
Micro
make
USB.
the power. Don't you know anything about electricity?
Well, there's a battery inside of it too. And then I charge that using all renewable resources. With the windmills that I have in Spice.
You get your personal windmill and then your little hydro.
Yeah,
dam.
You're tapped into the grid at Randolph County.
Yeah. I ran my own line.
Which they're expanding, by the way.
Yep, they are. I have a friend who lives in
Why
Morrell.
are you so troubling? Why do you just...
I drive through it every day. I haul my corn.
You have to ruin people.
To the ethanol plant in Randolph County through the wind farm that's in Randolph County. You know, opportunities that Henry County could have had.
I think they just pay the people that live there now all the extra tax money they have. Everybody just gets a check like you're in Alaska.
Sure.
You just get an energy check.
Yeah. They have awfully nice roads, too. As soon as you cross the line, man.
On 36?
Smooth.
Yeah, because the wind farm company has to pay to have them repaved when they're done with them.
All right.
In their contract, because if they didn't, they kind of demolish the
Be
roads.
careful. We're going to have Annie Gray here Annie Wilson. Annie Wilson in the comments.
What fake news are you peddling over here, buddy?
I did not see that one coming. That was a good one.
Who's Annie Gray? Is Annie Gray a registered voter in this county? Can you produce any... Moving on. All right.
Hey, can anybody trace IP addresses for me? Hit me in the inbox. I got something I want to prove.
You got a project.
Also, a word from our sponsor, ExpressVPN.
Yeah. So the Big Ten. The Big Ten is a football conference, and it's a basketball conference. It's where young men and women get together to play sports in a fair,
where boys become men
in a fair and reasonable way. There used to be 10 teams. Now there's 14, mostly Midwestern, but they also go to Maryland and New Jersey for TV money. That's probably the first signal that they're into this for money. They weren't going to play football this year, Dakota. They said it's too dangerous. COVID is bad. It's not going to happen.
Be breathing all over each other.
Some of the legacy football schools said we have to play. It's important because Ohio State has a really good team and Michigan thinks they're good and Wisconsin has to play. So we have to have a football season. So they said, okay, fine. We're going to start late. We're going to try to force together a football season and you're all going to play each other and you're going to schedule, I think, 8 games in the regular season. And we'll have a championship game from that. Whoever is the best in the two different sides, East and West, because there's too many in the Big Ten. There's 7 teams, so they have to have a winner in each side. Championship game gets played in Indianapolis. They said as long as you complete at least 6 of the games, you'll schedule 8. As long as you guys get 6 of them in the books, the best team in the East and the best team in the West are going to play for the championship, and we'll see what happens. Ohio State had a game against Maryland get canceled. They had a game that they canceled against Illinois. And then this week, they had a game with Michigan that got canceled. Ohio State is 5-0. They've only played 5 games. Indiana is, I believe, 7-1. They lost to Ohio State, but they've played 2 extra games. So they've completed the required number of games. They were supposed to play Purdue this weekend. And Michigan canceled their game later. Purdue and IU are like, the hell with it. We can't play either. COVID. There was conversation that since you didn't make the 6 games, we're going to... I've lost Dakota. He's just staring at...
I'm reading the comments.
He's not paying attention as I'm trying to set this up. I'm going to slap him.
Basically, what I know is that some people canceled some games.
Yeah. So basically...
other people didn't cancel their games.
Ohio State is the number 4 football team in the country. And they think that they can get into the national championship game. But to get to the national championship game, they need to play in the Big Ten championship game. To be eligible for the Big Ten championship game, you needed to have 6 games. This week, they found out for sure they're only going to have 5. So the Big Ten immediately reset the rules, and said, I'm sorry, Indiana University, even though you should have gone because you played all the games you're supposed to play and you stayed healthy and you never canceled any football games, but Ohio State actually had to cancel one because of their COVID problem. And then 2 more got canceled. They said, we're going to reset the rules and we're going to go ahead and let the team that's played 5 games all year, they're going to get to play in this because every team, all 14 teams, are supposed to get like $6 million in TV money. So they're all taking a check. IU be damned.
Listen, man, money talks, just like the election.
It's almost like the theme for 2020 has just been moving goalposts.
Yeah, we reset. We set up the rules again because the only reason they were going to play football this year was so that they could help Ohio State get in the national championship game.
Yeah,
and then the one chance for a Big Ten team to make the national championship. So that's what they did.
So you're going to protest and not watch the games?
No, I'm going to call it out on my podcast. But it's the same thing. It's literally the exact same set of scenario that you saw when Todd Young got 497 signatures in the congressional district. They changed the rules so that the chosen one could move on.
Yeah.
So I hope that the blue blood Republicans.
This out. It's worth noting.
I'm a Purdue fan.
You're pointing this out as a Purdue fan.
Yeah. I'm just calling out what's wrong. Right. That's the whole point.
You're being consistent.
Yes.
I'm saying rules are rules, and they should be followed because they're rules.
I'm saying that you have a set of rules you had an entire conference agree to. You said you have to play 6 games, find a way to get 6 games. You guys only got 5, but we think you're better. So we're going to go ahead and just change the rules.
But when that kind of money's involved, which doesn't pay the players.
No, it doesn't go to the players.
Right.
They get room and board and they get an education. But that's not what this conversation is about. It's about are you going to do the right thing or not?
That was a bad take, Jeremiah. Ooh.
It's the haves and have-nots. That's the point. And it's not just politics. We talk about it in politics all the time, but it happens in sports as well. Things are arbitrary as hell.
Yeah. It's the nature of the world. Kids don't get paid for making millions of dollars for people who already have millions of dollars. And meanwhile, you have people like Jeremiah who say that, you know what, you have a place to live, so you should be happy.
I feel like you maybe should get more emotional about this since they are coached by a Newcastle Trojan, Tom Allen, who probably will get an offer to go coach somewhere else.
Tim Allen?
Tom Allen.
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
No. Tom Allen, Newcastle Trojan graduate, is the head coach of the Hoosiers. Been going well. So anyway, it's pretty much ridiculous. That's all. Yeah. That's my complaint. You don't seem to care, which is fine. But just remember the kids. Remember the children, the young student athletes who just got robbed. Yeah. Indiana's having their best college football
from what I know of it,
in 40 years.
I totally agree.
And they've been totally hosed.
Yep.
It is going to. This will go down in history because Jeremiah will bring it up year after year
consistently.
Make sure you guys don't forget. But make sure you guys also boycott it, like we all boycott the NFL right now. You're doing Zach, things that we don't like.
Hey, producer Zach, should these people be pissed?
Yeah, they should. You start out playing a set of rules, and then and like in this case, sometimes you're like, oh, whatever. But like some of these guys are seniors.
Yeah,
they've come up. This is their year, and for IU, they're playing out of their mind. And I'm sorry though, you're not the team that
When was the last time that IU was in the Big Ten championship?
They've never made the Big Ten championship again. That's a new thing.
But they could have. If it wasn't for them.
If it wasn't for the Ohio State thing, they would have made it this year.
Wow. Yeah. That's really something to be upset about.
Yeah. That's the thing you think about with like.
I mean, they kind of earned it, right? They did lose. They did lose to Ohio State in a very close game. They were behind. They almost came back. But they did lose. The last time with the equivalent of being the champion of the Big Ten.
I know what the Rose Bowl
is. The Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And IU played in it in 1968.
Huh. Most of their season has been upsets, though. I mean,
they beat Penn State. They beat Michigan.
Yep.
They beat Michigan State. They beat Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They nearly beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's
if you were going to earn a spot.
That's as much as you're going to get.
You earned a spot. Yeah.
It's crazy. They played 4 games. They nearly doubled the amount of games.
And they're in the same. So remember we said the East and the West thing. If they're going to change the rules and be arbitrary as hell, they are the second best team in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
but they're in the same side of the bracket as Ohio State.
Yeah.
So Northwestern, the school from Chicago, the Harvard of the Big Ten, those guys are going to get to go, even though IU is better than them. So if you're going to change the rules, put IU in there too. It didn't happen. So, whatever.
They should just.
I'm mad for all of the cactuses.
And now, is there extreme amount of outrage about this on Twitter? Because that's where you get things done.
Indiana University can't come up with the amount of outrage that they can in Columbus, Ohio. They are professional outragers. They are a professional sports team
Pretty much
that happens to play college football.
Known for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that football is a big deal, and then you go into anywhere within an hour and a half of Columbus, Ohio, and it's it won't even be football season, and you'll just
it's almost a cult.
Yeah, you'll go into
it's like Alabama fans,
and the Denny's is half full of boomers wearing Ohio State polos, and the wife's got an Ohio State scarf around her neck. It is, you can just be at a fair or something in the area and just scream OH, and they will launch into a cheer. Yeah.
Mason was doing that at the Burt Kreischer about back in February, back when we were allowed to have fun. He was just randomly doing that. Yeah, good times. All right.
Speaking about whenever we were allowed to have fun, it looks like we're not going to have fun for a long time because we had too much fun over Thanksgiving.
I tested negative. I was responsible. I did the right things. I burnt the hell out of my arm so that I made sure I didn't do anything wrong. Check the Patreon from last week for that story. So Henry County is orange. We're at level 2.5. Anything above a 3 turns you red, which is bad.
Do we have any red counties yet?
Yes.
We do have red counties?
Oh my God, Dakota. Did you check the notes?
It wasn't that way this morning.
What?
Yeah.
What? I sent it to you this morning. Look at this map. It's in the notes. There's red all the whole west coast of Indiana is red.
Yeah.
Sarah sent it back to me, and she drew a little smiley face. She highlighted the donut counties around the bottom of the state.
Yeah.
And then she caught
I see it. I see
whatever
face.
the two probably Blackford County, maybe Grant County, I don't know. Grant, and we'll say Carroll County. You guys can check my math on that. Hancock County. Yeah, Hancock County went red yesterday. Shelby County's red. Johnson County, Morgan County. Shame on you, Morgan County, and Hendricks County.
Just looking at that map, this is all Illinois' fault.
Yeah, Illinois, obviously. The people of Chicago are spilling over.
They're not helping us either.
No. And the donuts.
So we have freedom
all
here?
the Republicans that refuse to wear masks in the donut counties, they're also having a hell of a time.
They want to blame us for guns. We're going to blame them for COVID.
So that's one metric. That's the actual grading. But if you go to the Indiana coronavirus website and you look at the percent positive per 100,000, 92 counties, every one of them are red.
Yeah.
They are all red on that one.
That's the map that I saw earlier this morning, and I was thinking that was orange. Because the whole state was that color.
No, the entire state has gone red on that metric. On the how many tests are positive per. But now, if we put the Big Ten in charge, we should just change the rules,
Right.
and then we could be orange.
Move the goalposts.
Goalpost.
It is
Get a hold of Holcomb.
It's kind of a self-fulfilling
He's got the playbook.
prophecy with how they're doing this, because the sick people are the ones that get tested. The people that feel fine, are healthy, they don't get tested. So your healthy numbers aren't included in the positivity rate.
Jeremiah's trying to fight that.
I went on Monday before Thanksgiving, and I got my COVID test, and Sarah got her COVID test, and they said, "Why are you here?" I said, "I need a test because I'm going to travel." And they looked at me like I had two faces. And then they said, "Are you having any symptoms?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Have you been exposed to anybody?" And I said, "No." And they looked at me really weird again. And I said, "I just need a COVID test." And they gave it to me. But then the nurse practitioner walked in, and she's like, "When's the last time you were exposed?" I said, I'm sure I have been, but I have I have no particular concern. And then she was like, "Okay, well, you're negative." I'm like, okay. So y'all are, Dakota, you're exactly right. You set these rules up so that you have the sick people come in, and then when people turn out to actually be sick, then the number.
The only people that are getting tested, you're either sick or you have a known exposure,
or you have a reason that you're going to travel or you're going to do something. or you're trying to be safe because you're going to work or you're an essential worker or whatever.
Now, I read an article today about a university, I believe it was in New York, and they were developing, they look like pregnancy tests. You pee on them, and they detect the proteins in your urine, and will give you, just like a pregnancy test, 1 line if there's no COVID proteins detected, 2 lines if you're positive.
That seems better than touching your brain with a swab.
Yeah, and they were kind of marketing this as like for employers.
Yeah.
Like when people come back to work and for like music venues.
Take this.
Yeah.
COVID.
Go to the restroom.
Go pee on this and come back.
COVID antigen.
It says I'm positive.
Don't get any on your hands.
COVID antibody test. I keep getting advertisements. Kroger's supposed to have them for $25 now, so you can go see if you've actually had it and you're over it.
Now I need to do that.
It takes a little bit, but some employers should just schedule a Red Cross blood donation, and then they do it for free.
Yep, I just signed up for my third time. I'm going to give, I think on the 21st. They're up in Muncie doing a donation drive, and that's exactly what I've been doing, Zach. Is I've been giving to the Red Cross, and then wait a couple days, and you get to see if you've had it.
I really messed out on donating when I was positive. I guess there's a premium for antibodies.
You still may have the antibodies.
It's been a little over 3 months.
The science is new. You should check and see if you have it, and then go up to Mason's been giving plasma because he likes money, and apparently they're paying a big premium on the south side of Muncie.
Yeah,
and then you'd have gambling money,
right? Or gun money that I can lose in a boat.
Where you could lose some more.
That way you can replace the AK that was lost in Westwood.
Hopefully.
So speaking of moving the goalposts and other general terrible rules, the Cleveland Browns are playing on Monday night in Cleveland.
How did we get to this?
And their governor,
we were done with sports talk.
Their governor,
I put it at the top of the show
Governor
so we could
DeWine,
get it done and over with.
Governor DeWine said, we're not going to enforce the curfew for the NFL. Because they follow the rules and they're special. So they have like you can't be out past 9 o'clock curfew in Ohio. Yeah. And in Cleveland, they're not going to enforce it. They said, oh, those guys are wearing masks. They're socially distant. They're fine. So once again, if you're special, Dakota, the rules can change.
We all know that.
Holcomb did say this week, though, that they're no longer going to allow any variances. The state is not going to allow the counties to make their own decisions anymore when it comes to variances. So if you are in Orange County, no more than 50 may gather.
It's time to rise up.
Unless it's church.
Go get your boats. Get your magnets.
Get scuba certified.
If you go red, 25. 25 is it. That's all you're allowed.
It's time to rise up, Hoosiers. It didn't have to be this way. You had another choice.
So the call for violence has been given at 7:57 by Dakota.
I'm surprised it took this long.
So are we? I think we got the note today that the FDA. I got a push notification. The FDA says that they can roll out the Pfizer vaccine. So they're gonna. Indiana got like 50,000 doses. First line people are getting it next week.
You know,
this is over.
The way that it goes, they're going to give it to. I'm sure Kade probably heard this too. They're going to give it to the folks who took the placebo vaccine in the trials first because of their contribution to medical science. Second, they'll give it to folks that are working on the front lines in medical centers, hospitals, nursing homes, what have you. Next, after that, comes other first responders, EMTs, firefighters, police officers, and then it go
at risk.
And then, well, that's the decision that is left up to each state. Is kind of have to do a cost benefit analysis of
if it's Holcomb, we probably should check and see who are the bigger contributors or donors.
Yeah,
and then see who volunteered for
all
his
the folks
campaign.
at Eli Lilly have already got it.
Yeah, they've all got it. So, and they're good. And then it's probably just a matter of who makes the donations.
Probably,
yeah. Kyle Hupfer and his people. Yeah. Those are their frontline workers. So they'll probably get it.
People that was like a vaccine clinic luncheon for like $500 a plate, and like, oh, we'll give you a vaccine.
But you have to have two of them, so it's going to raise $1,000, Zach.
Yeah. But the whole question is
Holcomb for Indiana pack. By the way, everybody that attends gets the vaccine.
It's after all those people get it. Do you give it to the most at risk first? Do you distribute it to nursing homes and give it to elderly folks? Or do you give it to essential workers before them? And
I think you give it to the ones, if you're having to play this game, you give it to the ones that are most susceptible to death immediately. And then you're going to have the herd immunity. And it sounds like that it's a matter of semantics. Whether you get it in January or you get it in March, everybody that gets it is one more step forward in the herd immunity. So the community spread is going to be reduced more and more and more.
I hate to break it to you, Jeremiah, but you're wrong.
How so?
There's a fellow that I just listened to, and he's a professor of epidemiology at Yale.
Okay.
And he said that in order to save the most lives possible, it is actually smarter to give the vaccine to essential workers first, because they're the most likely to spread it.
Sure. Well, we don't listen to epidemiologists in this state.
I just said that.
We don't do that.
I posed the question because whenever I first heard that, I think it's the most. It seems like common sense. Oh, you got to give it to the at-risk people first.
Either way, it's a matter of it's all going to come so fast at this point that I don't think it's really going to matter. You're talking on the margins. You've got, if you're going to get everybody offered a vaccine, there's going to be about 30% of the people that say, hell no, I'm not putting that in my body anyway. So they're going to get out of line.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get to everybody else anyway.
The other problem is that the Pfizer vaccine has to be kept at minus 50. Maybe no, that's the Moderna vaccine.
No, the Pfizer is the one that's most difficult. The Moderna is similar to the chicken pox, which is easily dealt with.
Yeah.
The Pfizer is going to be one where you have to go somewhere. So you're likely going to go to a big city where they have the infrastructure to do it.
Yeah, because Walgreens that won't be able to chill things down to minus 55 degrees.
I feel like it's going to be very similar to trying to get a COVID test. In the very beginning, they were incredibly difficult to get, and a month or two later, it's caught up, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass and a hassle to do it, but you can get it. You can get a COVID test. If I need to go to COVID test tomorrow, I can go stand in line and first thing in the morning and I'll get one.
Eventually, I'll be able to pee on a stick and be vaccinated.
We could vaccinate you right here on the show.
So a show of hands for everybody in the room. I mean, once it becomes available to all of us, are you guys going to take it?
It's a podcast, so show of hands is it's not the best cue.
There's a live feed.
We'll do a roll call.
I'm getting in line.
I was going to start with Zach.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah.
You're doing it?
Indy 500, man. I'll take it. I'll take a vaccine for that. Or vaccine.
I said I'll do it because by the time it gets to us, there's probably going to be a few million people that have already got it. And
I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah.
I'll wait till it gets to me.
We'll have plenty of cases to look at. Make sure that it's all kosher.
I don't think I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
I've already had it, so I know my body.
You're cured. You're already immune. Well, and if you've already had it, you're probably fine.
They say anywhere after 6 months after you've had it, you could get it again.
Yeah, but you're part of the herd immunity we have now. Yeah. So it's very unlikely that by the time everybody gets it, you're gonna get it a second time.
Right. So it seems unnecessary for me at this point.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think the death panels will agree. Since you've already had it, the death panels are probably not going to let you get it.
Is Obamacare death panels?
Yeah, those guys. Now, I did think there's the sweating man gif that you see all the time on the internet. 2 buttons. You got to make a terrible decision.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this for libertarians, and I can pick on libertarians because I are one. There's 2 buttons. One button says the federal government is killing people because they won't approve this drug in time. The other button says don't take the vaccine. They're trying to kill you. It's the exact same thing, but whichever position that they take, I absolutely won't take the vaccine because it's mind control. And then the other button says the government's killing you because they're too slow to approve, and it's been around for a year and they've killed all these people already.
See that, but the thing that most of these people don't realize is that they started working on a coronavirus vaccine that works with mRNA back in 2009, whenever the SARS SARS-CoV.
Does this sound familiar to you, Zach?
Yes.
Does this sound like last week's episode?
We already talked about this.
Damn.
Oh, you guys already talked about it?
Oh, somebody doesn't listen to his own show. Making note of that.
I listened to about the front portion just to see what you guys say about me whenever you explain that I'm not here.
Oh, hell. Why isn't he here? What was the excuse last week? Flipping his mattress or something?
Yeah, I had to help move the mattress because I got a surprise delivery. It was a week and a half early, like I told you.
You just said they picked up the old one.
well,
He had to
pulled a
trade with
little
his neighbor.
switcheroo.
You're trading around.
Audrey and I gave our old mattress to her mom and dad.
They weren't
And-
creeped out by that?
Nope. And because it was already
Broken in.
It was Audrey's grandma's mattress before it was our mattress. It's been around a little while.
The Village Bicycle of mattresses.
So they had to come and pick up our mattress. Yeah. And then they gave us their old mattress.
The Fertile Crescent.
So that
So fertile crack in there somewhere.
So that the Sattva people would take the worst mattress of the two. That was the whole plan. So we had to pull the old switcheroo.
Smart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is it like your neighbors just sitting, you guys watching, you guys just hauling mattresses around?
There are no neighbors. They are the only neighbors. They control the neighborhood.
Colt.
Nobody can see past the German shepherds and the tall walls, Zach. All right. So you got your new mattresses. Are you going to host Big Family Christmas?
Hold on. There's a meme. There's a meme going around, and it's crap. What's the name of the guy from Waco?
David Koresh.
Yeah, it's David Koresh, and it's a picture of him holding his guitar and standing in front of a microphone, and it says, "Well, anyway, here's we didn't start the fire."
You are just
Good old ATF.
You
joke.
are in just a dark place on the internet nowadays, Dakota.
Oh, well, the
I thought it was a good
cult
one.
reference is hilarious because that's a time suck thing.
Yeah.
And so all these people that are a fan of that podcast change their profile picture to a Dan Cummins picture, and they all picked the same one.
Yeah.
He's got like a creeper stash.
Kade did it.
I had
Yeah.
mine for a couple
Yeah,
of days.
yeah.
My dad texted me. He was like, "What the hell is this?"
And they're like,
It's our new cult leader.
yeah. And then what's been super funny is all
I've
the
got a
people-
6-pack of Kool-Aid I'm dropping off for you.
Well, they've all been posting the reactions and the messages that they're getting from people to
Yeah.
them change because they're like, "Who is that?" And they're like, "It's my cult leader." And they're like, "They're all if you enjoy that podcast,
It's pretty funny.
Your sense of humor is like
A little
dark
different.
and weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that's been hilarious all week to just read people's cult.
They have a Dan's only dating website now, where it's just people. It's people that have changed their profile picture to Dan.
Dansonly.com. That's hilarious.
It's like it was a Facebook group with like half the people in the Facebook group had the same profile picture.
Mm-hmm. I left the Facebook group for a little while, and then he said something about it on the show, and I was like, well, since Dan's actually like in it now,
Paying
Yeah.
attention.
I'll be a part of it again, and it's gotten a lot better. It's not nearly as annoying as it once was.
Are we
You
supposed
can
to
go
talk
back
about-
like 100 episodes and listen to why I left the group. There's a whole like 2-week.
It was 100% accurate description because I was in it at the time and I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of insufferable.
So bad.
Are we,
They were the reason that I got a 30-day comment ban through all of Facebook. I couldn't comment on anything, but they let me make posts, so I can make posts and I would
And then you
make things.
had to abandon them.
And yeah, and then people would comment like, "Please explain your position on this," and be like, "Sorry, bro, wait 28 days."
Yeah.
Sorry, sock account has to come
Yeah.
back in.
Ridiculous.
Did you borrow Audrey's account for a while?
No, I didn't. I don't
Get a
care
hold
that
of
much.
Get a hold of Ken and Gray. You can use Annie's account for a little while.
Annie Gray. Yeah, I should have thought about that. This was before his time though.
I know a couple people with alternate Facebook accounts for when they get banned.
Aaron Ewert, our friend Aaron Ewert, is
James McRussell.
He's currently serving his sentence, and he's come back as James McRussell. He keeps getting in trouble, and the more Facebook bans you have, Kade, the shorter the leash. I don't want to
Yeah.
brag about my
Every now and then, seriously, every now and then, I'll get hit with like a 7-day ban for something that I posted about guns like 5
Years
years
ago.
ago.
yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to go back and wipe that? I don't know.
My brother got a 30-day ban, but I think they lifted it early for a picture that was obviously photoshopped of Hitler playing video games.
That's
And
pretty
it was
funny.
like without comment. It was just like I'm like, okay, we get it. But like it was a year and a half old.
They didn't even send me a notification that I got a comment ban.
We should all go to Parlor.
That's right.
I've got my account. I haven't checked on it since we
Jeremiah's
set up
already
the
on
episode a
Parler.
while ago. I'll check while we're here and see if I've got
Oh, no.
see if I'm verified.
See what Brad Brew's up to.
I don't know. I think gosh, I forgot. I've forgotten everything I know. Remzo.
I love you, Brad. That was just a joke.
Remzo's in here.
Of course, Rimzo's on
He
there.
works for- he works
for them.
I know that Parlor was like I had.
PragerU is the very first suggested page to follow.
I had to Todd Young.
Jordan Belfort is it? He's on Parlor. That's the Wolf of Wall Street guy.
Right. Yeah.
Click on his profile. I want to see what he's got to say. There was more.
It's just him doing cocaine.
All right, we're doing a Parlor dive.
Yeah.
This is what happens. Last week it was Obelisk.
Joined 8 days ago.
Yeah, he's been there for 8 days. Whatever.
His tag is Wolf of Wall Street.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I see Reinhold, our buddy Reinhold, is in there. Ginger Anarchy.
Oh, he does a podcast now.
I do recognize some of these folks. Anyway, whatever. I can't tell how many followers I have. I can't tell how famous I am. This is
Useless.
terrible. I see
Kinda
stuff from Remzo.
Kind of like Instagram doesn't let you know how many people have liked your content now.
I don't have the links. I have 13 followers. And I'm following 11 people. I have 2 votes and 2 parleys. Whatever. 2
You have
parlays.
11 people following.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm going pretty viral.
Okay.
Is Christmas canceled? What was you wanted to talk about Christmas?
I didn't really want to talk about Christmas. I just
Was that just filler? You didn't care?
But you guys already talked about it, so I forgot. Or you were supposed to talk about it. It was on the show notes for last week's show.
What?
It was.
What?
You asked if Christmas was canceled.
Right.
I think we talked more about Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So are you canceling Christmas at the Dakota Davis household?
Yep, Christmas is gone.
I can't come over.
Nope.
I mean, if we're going to do Christmas
There will be
different
no
this
ham.
year, it'll probably mean that I'm coming over.
There will
Because I don't normally come over for Christmas.
There will be no prime rib. It's all gone. Sorry, but that's the decision that Holcomb had to make.
I'm making venison backstrap no matter what anyone says.
Now, are you counting on killing another deer, or have you actually had the
No,
self-control to hold
I've-
back some backstrap?
I've got some in the freezer.
Nice. Did you bring us jerky?
No.
Could I?
A year ago, you would have brought us jerky.
Right, but I ate it all. I ate all the turkey that I made. I ate it all. It's not good.
Can I order a whole rib roast from L&K Farms?
A little late now.
Yeah, we're kind of backed up.
Yeah, but do you know he's Dakota Davis and he's special?
Want me to move the goalpost for him?
Yeah.
Guess
I
I'll
mean,
just
certain animals are take somebody else's Christmas dinner away from them. Holcomb says they can't have it anyway, so let Dakota have it.
Guess I'll just have to go to Knightstown Locker.
It happens.
You
They're still local. I'm not going to.
They're so busy they can't even. They're not even taking deer anymore this
Yeah.
year.
Well, they get to about this point every year where they're like, yeah, we're done taking deer.
We split
yeah.
between
Normally, that's why I go to Portland Fishers.
we split between the L&K and the Knightstown. Knightstown has excellent sausage.
Yeah,
Well,
Excellent sausage.
I love.
they have great products.
I love the Knightstown Locker. One of my favorite things about there is the fresh meat counter. You can go, you can pack out the meat that you want to stock up in your freezer, and then while you're there, you can be like, I would like 2 fresh filet mignons, and you can go home, you can grill them up, and they're delicious.
Yep.
And you can get some dog food too, and then you can
can.
make little patties of that for yourself
And
too.
you can get elk meat. Unfortunately,
and
though,
buffalo meat.
this time of the year, because of all their custom orders, they need the space where the fresh meat usually goes. And every time that happens, I'm like, man, I hate deer hunters.
Just deer hunt yourself, and then you got it.
Yeah. I should.
No worries.
Again.
It's just like a small elk.
Now I'll have to come out to your house and sight in my muzzle loader.
We know Dakota would be his own processor.
I would not.
I'd
I have
teach
no
him.
idea how to do
Dakota
it.
teach him. I do it.
would pull the back straps and then run everything through the grinder.
Yep.
It would be like
Now, I want some
40
of the,
pounds of ground meat and 2 back straps and
That's-
fillets.
what I did with my hog. It's pretty close.
You didn't cut out the pork belly?
Well, we got like 12 packages of bacon, so we got that taken care of. But
This wasn't a self butcher. This is what you did with
this is what I custom ordered it this way because I thought the world might be ending pretty soon. Burger is very versatile.
Do you just constantly
Very
feel like the
lean.
world is ending?
Have to be prepared.
You're conditioned at this point to think that the world is over. You've lived through the worst pandemic of your life.
Better
and you
have
just
it, not need it.
constantly think the world is ending.
It's been good though. I made a gigantic pork burger and sausage meatloaf wrapped in bacon that I smoked on the pellet grill,
Meatloaf.
and it was absolutely incredible.
When you make your meatloaf, what song do you play?
I don't know, probably something by Coulter Wall.
Not 2 out of 3 or Bat Out of Hell.
I'm getting these references.
Zach, would you help me?
Yeah, or Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Exactly.
If you played Bat Out of Hell, the album version, you can only get it through twice before you're done smoking it because that song's
it's
like
long.
It's
Yeah,
like 12 minutes long.
Is it like Stranglehold by Ted Nugent?
I'd
Like
do
just around the time you think it's going to end, it's got 15
anything
more minutes. Yeah.
Hey, to do anything for Backstrap,
Let's talk about the latest problem in Henry
but I won't do
County.
that.
Oh, I know that song. Okay. I just didn't know
That's
the
Meatloaf.
title.
Yeah. So,
Anyway.
our friend Chris Bilbrey, former show guest here, he filed an open door violation complaint with the Indiana Public Access Counselor's office, and they picked it up, and they have sent an official letter to the president of the Henry County Commissioners, Ed Tarantino. We refresh my memory, producer Zach, but we did plow this ground last week, so now we're coming back to it. The story had already started.
Yes,
and we've previously discussed that the county commissioners are making a transition from Joel Harvey to Martin Shields as their counsel.
Yeah, there was just a couple things that I wanted to talk about this, which was basically give folks a timeline of how this is going to work out. Ed Tarantino has until December 28th to submit a response on behalf of the county, which will basically be his official excuse.
Do you think his attorney that got wronged in this is going to be the one that does the response explaining why he wasn't wronged?
I believe that he has to. Which is hilarious. What a moment of irony. I love it.
Or do you think the new attorney who got the job is going to, for free, explain why he should get the job and the other guy shouldn't?
He doesn't get the job. He doesn't get to work on behalf of the county until after January 1st.
Well, he doesn't get to be paid, but could he do the work for free? I heard they keep meeting with him anyway.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And then, so they have until December 28th to submit that response, and then it's like January 12th of next year, the Public Access Council will finally make a decision.
They'll decide
settle the
if
case.
they're going to fire everybody or sue the county or if we're going to lose money, how this is going to go.
There were some quotes from the Courier-Times article, our good friends at the Courier-Times, media partners in Henry County, and they were great. Mr. Tarantino, I'm just going to go ahead and read from it right now because I couldn't do a better job. Mr. Tarantino said that he was not surprised that Bilbrey filed a complaint against the commissioners. He is a troublemaker, Tarantino said. He has an interest in this. He has taken an interest in this county the last couple of years.
I'm very disappointed that I haven't had an official quote from a county official called me a troublemaker yet. I've tried.
Yeah.
I really wish Ed Yanos or Butch Baker or Kim Kronk or any of them had called me troublemakers. I never got that credit.
We don't have that street cred.
Maybe Betsy will call me a troublemaker. That'd make me feel better.
I bet
that's the attack. It's not I did something wrong.
I bet that you have been called names.
Oh, I'm sure
worse.
behind closed doors, just not to a reporter.
Yeah.
I'm a gigantic pain in the ass.
Maybe the public access counselor could drag that out of him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
His two-pronged defense is he's a troublemaker, the guy that filed is a troublemaker, and nobody cares who the attorney is. That's his two-pronged defense.
And who the hell is this guy? He doesn't live here anyway.
Yeah.
Then the other, so that was hilarious. I thought that was pretty funny.
And I like Ed. Ed's a nice guy, but this is just not gonna.
It's not smart.
You can't have meetings outside and make decisions outside of public meetings.
He's been in office 2 years.
He is going to be our most senior county commissioner.
Yeah. It's not like if this was like his first few months in office, you'd be like, not right. You shouldn't do that. But honest mistake, you're brand new at this. But after a few years, you got to know what's right and what's wrong.
There's a many. Give me a adjective here. A ton of watchdogs paying attention.
Yeah.
Doing any of this right now outside of public meetings is a terrible decision.
I just want to point out
It's
that
a terrible decision.
I saved my cherries and my drink for this portion of the show.
Ooh. Those are L&K cherries, I assume. Yes.
Yeah.
Get your L&K maraschino cherries. Locally grown, organic.
And then I thought the greatest thing in the article was what
Outgoing Commissioner Janos.
Ed Janos said. And he told the Courier-Times that making major decisions in private violates the public's trust. I think the announcement that 2 commissioners and a commissioner-elect decided to terminate the county attorney without public notice appears to violate expectations of reasonable observers. And then he had a great line in here, and I loved it.
One of the greatest lines.
One of the greatest lines. People have been saying it all day. It's one of the greatest lines that they've heard from the Courier-Times in a long time. Janos considers these impolite times, in quotes, in which many people hold elected officials in low regard and believe them to be corrupt. Commissioners Bushbaker, Kim Kronk, and I were accused of that many times during the debates on wind energy, and now those who have triumphed in that debate are experiencing the coarseness of public criticism themselves. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I don't know what else to add.
He is so spot on.
Accurate.
It's just like
Caught the train.
watching these people who for years have yelled in public meetings at the county council members and the county commissioners. They're getting yelled at by the public.
The deal
and
was
now
cut.
they are
We didn't know.
telling now they are telling the public who are standing where they were standing just a couple years ago to be quiet.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's the perfect case of irony. Like this, it could honestly be a comedic drama that we're watching unfold. Like it could be on an episode of Parks and Rec.
But it's our elected officials now.
Yeah. Sad.
These are the people that our county has picked. These are competitively run races. These are the very best the Republicans can give us.
Yep.
These are the folks that keep winning the Republican primaries, and they are the very, very best that we have. From Donald Trump all the way down the line. This is the very best they have to offer.
Wow.
I mean,
There's a lot of chuckling in the producer's desk.
Well, that was the irony, though, is that they've been screaming that all this shady backroom dealings for years, and they're doing kind of shady backroom dealings before some of them are even sworn into office.
Yeah,
I mean, like that's overachieving. To like, oh look, you guys have gotten your first.
It just doubles down on the irony that it's all wind retaliation.
it's the theme of the entire show. Yeah. The rules change, the goalposts change depending upon who's there. And what the guiding principle of myself and I think Dakota and most of the other folks associated with the show has been the lack of hypocrisy of actually having a backbone and standing for something. And if your side wins, great. If your side doesn't win, that's fine too. But be principled in what you're doing. And we're seeing that that's not exactly what's happening right now. Yeah. It's very disappointing. And I fully agree that they should be able to pick their attorney. I think Joel Harvey is a great attorney. He's done very well for the commissioners, and it's possible that the council is going to retain him. And he's still going to be a county attorney to the Henry County Council. If the commissioners really want to use Martin Shields, that's fine. But they need to go through a process of public meetings to make that decision.
Annie Gray told me that he's a real estate attorney. Is that right?
Hey, these are small town attorneys. They'll do it all, man. They're all. I mean, I honestly don't know the background of Martin Shields. If he's done any work for counties in the past, if he's done any municipal work, if he's done county work, township government, I don't know.
You read one contract, you read them all, right?
They all pass the bar. I don't know. But if that's who the county commissioners think is going to best represent them, then that's fine. They probably should, if they're going to hire Martin, they should set up a county contract with him that expires in February or March of the next year. They shouldn't set up a contract so that it automatically re-triggers and you have to give somebody 30 days notice and you have to have lame ducks on the way out cancel it. That part is probably not the best. So I really think that that's something they should do. If they want to correct this going forward in a good faith effort, when they present a contract to Martin Shields or whoever the new county attorneys are, those should now be set up so that they go off year to off year so that folks are actually in office. They have time to give a 30-day or 60-day notice, and they can do an interview. They can actually talk to people. They can deal with it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I guess he's working for the same money. They didn't put it out for bid. They didn't open it up and solicit to all the other attorneys in town. Think big what they want, but they're choosing the process, and the process is, of all of the options that are out there, this appears to be the worst possible path to go down to make this change.
Yep. It's just, I don't know. If you don't laugh at it, then you'll get upset about it. It's kind of how it is. So you just got to look at it and go, look at how ridiculous it is. This is my county.
I hope they're making a good choice. I honestly do, because the county commissioners are incredibly powerful, and they enter into agreements for leases, for purchases, for long-term agreements that are very important to the county. And it's not uncommon to see 10-year agreements happen. So in the next 2 years and the next 4 years with this set of commissioners, and however long they stay, there are some very big issues that are going to come into this county, and there are some important contracts and conversations that are going to happen that the attorney needs to be damn good. And I know that they've been represented well by Scott Hayes, and I know they've been very well represented by Joel Harvey. I hope that whoever is next, that they also are just as competent.
I just wonder how this sets the bar for any projects that come down the pipeline for anyone that supported the wind projects. If they have to go to the county to ask permission for anything, how's that going to pan out for those guys?
Right.
Right?
Yeah. We'll see how the hypocrisy works out. That's the end of the scheduled program. Producer Zach, you want to plug L&K Farm while he's sitting right here?
Sure.
Final thoughts?
LK.
They did not look very welcoming. They had orange barrels set up in the entryway.
Not really. Well, then there's
You can't even get in.
Beehive Body Company, which is my cousin's body products company that's based out of Mount Summit. And then during the summer, she's at L&K when they do their kind of farmers market setups on Saturdays. Otherwise, keep shopping local. I ordered some on Amazon. And last time I saw it was in the East China Sea. So I'm not doing my part on that one. But
there was a big container ship that lost about 25 containers out in the ocean.
It's probably
this last
mine.
week. So your stuff, your Xboxes are probably in there, everybody.
I didn't buy an Xbox. Yeah, some poor guy bought an Xbox secondary market because game systems were insane. He paid $800 and he got a cinder block in a box instead of a PS5. Just buy them from stores, people. But other than that, just
$800.
he paid like $800 and some dollars, and he was almost $900, and he just got a cinder block and a PS5 box. I was like, yeah. Oh wait, was Kade going to talk about the Facebook Marketplace?
Maybe that's his final thoughts.
Yeah, it's going to be final thoughts. Yeah, that was a fun discussion earlier. But other than that, just shop local and stay safe and try to stay healthy.
Try not to give everybody the COVID.
Yeah.
Don't be the reason somebody got sick.
Yeah.
All right, Kade.
Well, I always bring something for sale.
Yes. What you got with Kade Koger?
I've got a County Line TSC log splitter that I've had for 2 years.
Actual retail value?
Like $1,100.
$1,100. And we're offering it today on the Boss Hog Marketplace for
$750 firm.
All right. Now, if somebody says sold and they want it in the chat, is that a binding agreement?
It's binding.
That is binding.
Oh, you're selling it for $750.
Yeah.
I saw your listing. I thought it said $7,500.
No.
At first, and I was like,
Well, that's a Koger markup.
I was
right
like,
there.
Oh, I had it on Marketplace for $850 because you always price it high, expecting people to talk you down. But if somebody wants to give me $750, I'll take it right.
Was there a touchdown?
I thought there was an
Not yet.
extra zero on the back end, and I looked at it and I thought in my head like, wow, that seems really expensive.
I just don't use it enough. I've honestly used it a half dozen times.
4th and goal.
You don't have like
I've split maybe 2
If
quarts of wood
Woods
with
or
it,
Cup catches
and that's
this,
you don't have a wood.
I'm going to win $55.
I do, but I can buy a wedge.
Touchdown.
And
I
do
did
it
not win
myself
$55.
for no more than I burn.
Yeah.
But my air compressor took a shit on me, so I've got
Jared
to get
Goff.
a new air compressor. So I figured I'd sell my wood splitter and buy a nice air compressor.
That's a good plan.
Yep.
I like that plan. I have an air compressor tank if you want to buy a motor.
if you had Jared Goff with the first
A
touchdown in
55.
tonight's game, you won, everybody.
55-gallon tank. We'll get together later.
Two different shows. I'm watching two different shows.
We split off there for a second.
Jeremiah's over here losing money. So much for making up for the earlier week losses. And then there's just a delightful chat about a log splitter over there on the other side of the table.
And an air compressor.
And an air compressor.
That's about as Indiana as it gets.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh, damn it. I hope Cam Akers catches a touchdown, though. That's important later, too. And the Rams need to win. Dakota, D squared, what you got for me?
Nothing as usual, really. You can follow me on all the social media platforms if you want to, but I encourage you not to. And also, I brought 3 cups tonight.
Ooh.
And they are being picked up by a good friend of ours later in the studio. So that is my encouragement to everybody. And you've already missed your mark. If you wanted
You got to buy for next Christmas at this point, don't you?
Yep, it's all booked up.
Time for your Valentine's cups.
Yep, she's already taken some for January. It's getting nuts over there at my house. We got her brand new workstation. She's set up right. Kade's wife bought one, and Chris Guffey has one.
Oh, I moved your cup.
Oh, you saw it. You saw the moving cup.
It may have been damaged in the move.
Did you drop it?
I didn't drop it.
Bull in a china shop. Jerry, you dropped the cup?
So producer Chris, he's a lovely soul, but he doesn't take drawers out of anything when he moves them.
Well, that's a shame.
So all of the items were still in their kitchen wire rack drawer, and those drawers weren't locked down. So in transit, one of them detached, and the contents of the drawer were strewn about the stock trailer.
Oh my God! In the trailer?
In the trailer. So, and then we moved the dresser too, and guess what? They didn't take the drawers out of the dresser either.
Well, Guffey doesn't know how to move anything. All of Guffey's stuff probably
He owns a toothbrush.
It probably fit in the backseat of his truck.
Yeah.
Probably didn't even need the bed.
He took a lot of pride in that he was only going to move it.
Drain the air mattress, fold up the folding chair, and throw it in the back seat, and you're good.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He had his
Can't forget the stick of
toothbrush and
deodorant.
his comb, and I think he threw everything else away and just bought new at CVS. I don't know.
Yeah.
He did have a very pale white look on his face when we just kept moving things into the house, just item after item after item, and he's just.
I bet
you could see the overwhelming look on his face of I'm not used to any of this.
Wonder how that transition's been going.
I'm sure it's going great.
We'll talk to him later.
Maybe that's why he couldn't make it tonight, because he's still just looking at all these things going on.
Sitting in the corner going.
Just shaking. Just shaking.
Is that an end table?
Where did I get a 5th couch? I don't know.
5 couches.
No, there was a big sectional, and that it was somewhat heavy. I did keep pushing my age. I lied about my age a few times because Mason and Chris were there, and every time a heavy object came up, I would remind them, and I'm damn near 40. And I would say, I don't want to move that washing machine.
Sounds like a weak excuse to me.
It's pretty heavy. I did a lot of that.
No factor, Jeremiah. Your friend has to move. Good. You have the opportunity to help a friend.
You know, I'm trying to remember where you were.
He didn't ask me. I would have gladly helped. I was doing nothing. I
Absolutely nothing.
You guys were sending pictures of it moving, and I was like, cool. I was like, okay.
You've fallen so far out of the conversation with Guffey that you don't.
Great.
He doesn't even ask anymore.
No.
Boy, that's sad.
It's sad.
We'll find something.
He didn't even send me a message.
Maybe he doesn't want you to know where he lives.
Probably it.
It could be the problem. All right. Well, that's enough of this. We'll be back on Thursday of next week. It's going to be a great show. We'll see what it is, but it'll be a great show. Dakota promises to maybe come, and we'll go from there. We'll build off that. We'll be back together next week, everybody. Be safe.
Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty, which is part of the We Are Libertarians Network. I am Chris Spangle, and I am the founder of this network, and I invite you to listen to all of our shows, which you can find at WeAreLibertarians.com or by searching for these in your podcatcher. The flagship show is the We Are Libertarians podcast, where we apply libertarian principles to current events. The Brian Nichols Show is a conversation amongst Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, as they talk about what is happening in the news. And we have many other podcasts like The Chris Spangle Show, Upward, The Cost, Raw Audio Politics, Miranda's World, and Tad Talk, which is quite a ride. So check all of these out. Go to WeAreLibertarians.com and you can check out all of our great podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at WeAreLibertarians.com.
How do we take the ideas of Liberty and sell them to your average person? Hi, my name is Brian Nichols, sales executive and host of The Brian Nichols Show. And as the director of sales development in the greater telecommunications and cybersecurity sector, I've spent years working with C-level executives to help them future-proof their company's infrastructure for an uncertain future. And at The Brian Nichols Show, I'm taking that industry experience and bringing it to the Liberty movement. Each episode of The Brian Nichols Show features conversations with leading voices in their respective fields of expertise, ranging from CEOs to economists, elected officials, professors, and more. And instead of focusing on libertarians being right, we're teaching the basic fundamentals of sales and their application in the world of politics, teaching you how to ask better questions to help change people's minds. So, where can you find the program? Head to briannicholsshow.com or search your favorite podcast app for the program, and then hit that subscribe button to get 3 phenomenal episodes that'll make you a better advocate for liberty today.
We Are Libertarians Plus members enjoy many benefits like exclusive bonus shows like Build the Wall and Ideological Origins, lifetime access to my exclusive private newsletter at chrisspangle.com, early release of episodes with commercial-free shows, and a full feed of the show with 700 more episodes than you can find in the public feed. You'll also get merch and the opportunity to be a guest on the show. Most importantly, Wall Plus members support a new generation of opinion journalists by bringing an independent libertarian perspective to the news. Enjoy these benefits immediately by visiting joinwallplus.com.